All right, so today, again, we are going to be working on our EOG review. Every single one of you should be in Nearpod. I'm still waiting on a few more of you. The first story is pretty easy. There are a few that we might skip just because we've never really talked about it. But a lot of these, so like question 4 and 5, we'll just discuss. We're not going to do anything for it because I haven't necessarily taught you that. Um, so let's go ahead and look at the first text, the vain peacock. Again, like I said, a lot of this I'm going to have you do on your own for the first passage. The second passage is a little more difficult, so we'll be doing a couple of them together. All right, so first, before we begin, let's look at the question. Which statement describes the central message of this passage? When we're talking about central message, what do we need to identify? There's 3 things. Who remembers? Okay, yes, we're going to box and underline keywords in the question, but more so, what are the, not PKI. There you go. Yes, problem solution lesson. Very good, Monty. So automatically when we see theme, what we see central message, and when we see what did this character learn, any type of that question, we know we need to do a PSL. So let's go ahead and automatically make our PSL chart. Another thing I like to do is when I am reading and I know I'm talking about theme or central message, I like to underline where I'm noticing a problem and where I'm showing a solution in the lesson. So I'm going to be underlining as I'm going, all right? I want y'all to follow along as I read this. Again, we're looking for problem, solution, and lesson. Word had spread about the special ceremony that was to take place that night. For the first time ever, a bird was going to be named the highest judge in the forest. This bird would settle disputes that rose among the animals. Peacock interrupted 2 quails who had been talking. Tonight is an important night for me. I will be named High Judge. It will be a big responsibility, but I know I must do it. Will you come to the ceremony and cheer for me when they announce my name? He asked. The quails looked at each other, and then one spoke. There are many birds qualified for this position. What makes sure you are the one who will receive this great honor? Peacock scoffed at them. Why, my beauty, of course. No other bird comes close to matching my regal appearance. He turned and began to walk away. I will plan to see you there tonight. As Peacock walked away, the other quail said under his breath, I did not know that beauty made someone an honest and fair judge. So far, what are we noticing might the problem be in the story? Who is the character that is mentioned over and over and over? I'll give you a hint. Good, Elijah. Yes, Peacock. Good, Armani. Vain Peacock. So Peacock is getting mentioned over and over and over again. And we know that Peacock is all about what he looks like. So that's the first problem we can identify, is that the peacock only cares about his appearance. So where it says peacock scoffed at them, my beauty, of course. No other bird comes close to matching my regal appearance. I did not know that a beauty made someone an honest and fair judge. All right, let's make sure we're underlining this in Nearpod as we are doing it on the screen. Thank you, Elijah and Monty and Lids. Thank you, Brandon. Amari, we have not answered the question yet, so I don't understand why you have submitted your answer. All right, so first thing we've done is we've identified the problem. The problem is that Peacock is all about how he looks. That's all he cares about. So Peacock only cares about himself and how he looks. Take about 30 seconds to jot this down in your PSL chart on Nearpod. Beautiful. Thank you, Nevaeh. Thank you, Elijah and Monty, for writing this down. Thank you, Brandon. Quincy, go ahead and get on Nearpod, hun. I'll resend you the link. Waiting on Michael and It's a Holiday, Fancy Ivan, Emmeline, and Brian to please get to work. Jalen, I'm going to resend you the Nearpod as well. Alrighty. So those of you who are working and getting this down, I appreciate it. I'm glad you enjoy the nicknames. All right, now we need to think of how we can solve this problem. How is Peacock going to be put in his place? Let's keep reading and find out. 3 hours later, everyone gathered together in the clearing for an announcement. Although he arrived late, he fanned his fine feathers and pushed his way up to the front row. He did not want to have to walk far when his name was announced. Tiger spoke. It is with great honor that I pass the duty of High Judge to my replacement. I have spent many hours thinking about the best bird for this job, and one name keeps entering my mind. Eagle Owl. Please come forward. You are now High Judge of the Forest. Focus, Brian. Peacock was shocked. What? I am more beautiful than Eagle Owl. This is an outrage. Tiger calmly answered, Peacock, you are much too vain to be a judge. You would always be more worried about your appearance than making a wise and fair judgment. I never even considered you for the job. Peacock folded his feathers and walked away with his head down. So, yes, that was a little harsh. What was the solution to Peacock? Yeah, Peacock is mad. What was the solution? Peacock only cares about himself and how he looks. He automatically says that he's going to be the new high judge. But what happens? Yeah, he didn't get it. Tiger kind of put him in his place, didn't he? So we know that Tiger told Peacock, looks aren't everything. So let's go ahead and underline that, where it says, Tiger calmly answered, Peacock, you are much too vain to be a judge. You would always be more worried about your appearance than making a wise and fair judgment. Elijah, is that what you do when you get mad? Hey, bestie, how you doing? All right, so let's make sure we have this written down for our solution. Elijah goes, he's going to eat some ice cream at home. And I asked him if that's what he did, and he goes, yep, that's what I do. Same though, same. Alrighty, so looking at this, we know that Tiger told Peacock that looks aren't everything. We see this especially when it says that you are much too vain to be a judge. You would always be more worried about your appearance than making a wise and fair judgment. All right. What I want us to remember is when we are looking at the lesson, I'm not going to say Peacock only cares about himself. I'm not going to use the characters. We need to kind of think outside the box. So focusing on the sentence where it says, Tiger calmly answered, Peacock, you are much too vain to be a judge. You would always be more worried about your appearance than making a wise and fair judgment. What is Tiger telling Peacock? Okay, good. Looks aren't everything, but more importantly, it's more important to have what's inside of your head? Brain. Yes, brain over beauty, because your brain or your mind will get you further in life than how you look, right? So the lesson is that it's brains over beauty. Yes, it's nice to look nice sometimes, but your looks are not going to get you further in life. Your brain is, right? And that's a lesson we all can learn, not just Peacock. So, based on what we have, let's look at our answer choices. Did anything in our story say treat others the way you want to be treated? No. Very good. Did anything in our story talk about believing in yourself? No. Did anything in our story teach us that a sharp mind is of higher value than vain beauty? Okay, yes. Also, this is like some big words and a fancy way of saying something. Looking at what we have in our lesson, brains over beauty, mind, higher value, which from math, is bigger than or better than beauty. So obviously our lesson and our blind answer isn't exactly what this says, but it's similar to that. So we know this is a possible answer. Do not rush when you make an important decision. Is that what anybody learned? No. So based on that, we know our answer has to be C. Good. All right, Tristan, I'm going to send you the Nearpod link. Let me know if you need the code. Ice cream will cool him down. That is so true. All right, let me go back in here. All right, I want you all to take 45 seconds to finish typing up your PSL and doing your process of elimination. Once that 45 seconds is up, we're going to the next question because you should have been doing this while I was doing it, right? All right, 45 seconds on the clock. Oops, begin. What do I do when I get mad? Sometimes I walk away from the situation to try and cool down because I try not to say things out of anger to upset other people. Oh, bad boy Juju, was so bad this morning. That hooligan woke me up at 5:30 again. He's at camp. He about to go live with Armani for a little bit. All right, I'm gonna clear my screen. I know you would. That's why I said he's gonna come live with you. All right, let's go to our next question. Yes, he does love me. You're right, Jalen. Oh, Elijah, you and Armani can take turns. You can be my babysitters. All right, context clues. You know what to do when we have context clues. What do we need to make? Yes, a TKI. Very good. Did I change your question? Okay, yes, I did. All right, everybody, let's go ahead and do our TKI. And what can we put for our I for looking at what does vein mean? Perfect. Yes, we know we can put vein equals. All right. Yes, even though it's telling us, it's asking us what does vein mean in the title isn't telling us anything about the meaning of that word. So let's go into the text and find where we can see the word vein. Once you find it, I want you to stand up and jump in place. Once you find the word vein in the text. Okay, I found it. Look in the 8th paragraph to find it. All right, perfect. So it says, Tiger calmly answered, Peacock, you are much too vain to be a judge. You would always be more worried about your appearance than making wise and fair judgments. So what do we need to put where our T is? You can either type it in the chat or you can unmute and tell me. Oh, that was good.
He worries too much about his looks.
Very good. Yes, Jalen. So the text is telling us that Peacock is too worried about, his looks. Very good. So we know that if he's worried about his looks, he cares about his what? Good, his appearance. Right, or beauty. So vain has to mean what? guys and girls, look at what the case says. It will tell you the answer. What does vain have to mean? Thank you, Armani.
He's worried about his appearance.
Yes. He's worried about his beauty, his looks, or his appearance. Now, based off of this TKI chart, did anything tell us that he was worried, that he was lazy? Is anything telling us that he was being lazy? No.
No.
Did anything tell us that he was concerned about what he looked like?
Yes.
Yes. Did anything tell us that he was not worried about what he looks like?
No.
No. Did anything tell us that he didn't have any friends because of his
No.
behavior? No. So our answer has to be what?
B.
B. Yeah, he probably doesn't have friends because he's so worried about himself. That's very true. Very good. All right, take 45 seconds to finish writing this down. If you have not done so already, you need your TKI chart as well. All right, 45 seconds on the clock before we go to the next question. Six, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Brandon, what's wrong? You okay? Or are you just tired? What's happening? In the words of Miss Halliman, what's happening? All right, this one you're going to do on your own. So when we have text evidence, we know that all we need to do is a recall, right? So when we do recall questions, do we need any type of graphic organizer or do we just need a regular blind answer? Good, we just need a regular blind answer. So remember, I'm going to type all the stuff that we need to do, right? First, we need to box and underline keywords in the question. Second thing we need to do is evidence in the text. Third thing, blind answer. Fourth thing, process of elimination. All right, you have 5 minutes. Your time starts in 3, 2, 1, begin. All right, I'm going to start checking to see if you've at least boxed and underlined our question. Those of you who have not gotten to work, you need to get to work now. Elijah, check your evidence and your answer, or in your question. Look what it's asking you very carefully. And don't forget your blind answer. Okay, I want us to pause for a second. Which animal chose the new high judge, not which animal became, but which animal chose or picked the new high judge. That's what you need to answer. I'm looking at some of your answers and you're picking who became the high judge, not who picked. Brian, focus, my dear. There you go, Monty. Good, Nadaya. Don't forget to box and underline, find your evidence and blind answer. ELA, I need your blind answer. Other than that, awesome. Okay, Ivan, you don't need to underline the whole question, honey. Brandon, check your answer. You're telling me who became, not who picked or chose. Layla, check your work, honey. You need a blind answer. And you need evidence in the text. Amari, I need something from you. Jason, I still don't know why you're not on your pod. Good, Tristan. Don't forget your blind answer and your evidence in the text. There you go. Better, Elijah. Very good. Right. Yep. That was a tricky question because they put who became the high judge to trick you. Take 30 seconds to finish up. Check, Ivan. Good, Brandon. Quincy, check. Good, Tristan. $15, 10, 5, 3, 2, 1. All right, let's go over this question together. All right, who can walk me through what I needed to do to my question? Brandon, go ahead.
You need to underline your questions.
Okay, then what do I do?
Now you have to look back in the text for the answer.
Okay, so I can match new high judge and animal, right? So I'm looking. Okay, I see it says, it is with great honor that I pass on the duty of high judge to my replacement. Now I need to think to myself, okay, who is saying that? Well, I see it says Tiger spoke. So if he is choosing the new high judge, what would my blind answer have to be? Anyone can unmute and tell me what my blind answer is.
Tiger picked new high judge.
Good.
Can I just
Tiger
answer something
picked
without
new
y'all saying?
high judge. Good. Tiger picked new high judge. So based on this, my answer would have to be what? Everybody.
Hey.
Tiger. Very good.
Hey.
Yep. Eagle Owl was the replacement. He did not pick. Quail did not pick. Quail was mentioned at the very beginning of the story. Peacock wanted to be picked, but he did not pick. He did not become the new high judge. So again, our answer would have to be A. If you did not have this correct, I want you to go back into your question and make that correction. And everyone should now understand why it would have to be A rather than B, C, or D. All right. So take 30 seconds if you need to make any corrections to your paper. Amari, I don't know why we have the wrong answer if I'm doing it on the screen. All right, let's go ahead and clear. All right. All right, this one I didn't really teach you. However, let's just discuss. So what type of, we know this is a fiction text because animals cannot talk to us, but they can communicate with each other. Okay, Armani, why did you automatically say fable?
Because last time I seen a fable, wasn't I ready, and you told me that it was a fable. So this is a fable because animals cannot talk. And if animals could talk, that would be really cool.
Yes, I agree. So it's about animals teaching us a lesson. So anytime we have animals teaching us a lesson and they're communicating and talking like people, we know it's a fable. All right, same with this question. We didn't really ever talk about this, but when it says fan, find feathers, yes, it's kind of like a tongue twister, but it's also called an alliteration. So like if I say, Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, you hear the sound, the P sound. Or if I say she sells seashells by the seashore, that's also an alliteration because you hear that sound. So each word in a series of words starts with the same sound and the same letter. All right. Okay, character traits. We did this yesterday. I'm going to go ahead and skip the two that we just talked about, and we should be looking at character traits. Give me a thumbs up if we're at character traits, please, and thank you. All right, thank you, Miss Stewart, because you checked for yourself. I get a prize for participating. All right, character traits. What do we need? What graphic organizer do we need to create when we're talking about character traits? Not TKI. Okay, this is what I want you to think of. When you think of TKI, I thought of this earlier today. I want you to think of context clues when you say TKI because you're trying to identify an unknown word. So think TKI, identify. Not problem, solution, lesson. That's a central message or theme. Problem, solution, lesson, pumpkin spice latte, right? My problem is I'm thirsty. My solution is I'm gonna get me something to drink. My lesson is we going to Starbucks, right? Okay. If we're talking about characters, character, trait, evidence, CTE. I'll have to come up with a catchy slogan for that. I gotta think of something though. Who is our character that we are trying to describe? Peacock. Yes, so we know our C has to be peacock because that's who we're talking about. We don't know the trait. We have to figure that out. But we can find evidence in our text to see how we can describe peacock. So let's make sure everyone's putting down their CTE chart. Okay, Elijah, I'm going to ask you actually to unmute and tell us how you already got your answer, because that was really good. I'm impressed. So what did you see and what did you underline in the text? Elijah, go ahead, hon.
So it says, which word best describes a peacock? I picked D because back in the text it said, what I am more beautiful than eagle owl.
Very good. That is very impressive. Amazing job, Elijah. Loved. So Elijah knew if he's boastful, he is full of himself. He's bragging about how he looks, right? But that's not the only place he was boastful. If we go and we see up further up, not that Elijah's wrong, that was a great piece of evidence, but let's just keep backing it up a little bit more. When it says, peacock scoffed at them, why my beauty, of course. No other bird comes close to matching my regal appearance. So here again, he is full of himself. He's talking about what he looks like and how beautiful he thinks he is. We also see that it says, tonight is an important night for me. I will be named high judge. So he's automatically already telling the people, I should say, that he is already high judge just based on his appearance. So let's go back to our CTE chart. We have our evidence marked in the text. Thank you, Elijah. We have a lot of pieces of evidence. First piece, peacock already thinks he's high judge, brags about his looks, upset he loses to a less beautiful bird. So based on all this, we know that as Elijah said, he is bragging. So he is boastful. That was a very good job, Elijah. Again, because did anything tell us about him being honest in the story? Was that ever a question? No, right? Nothing was saying that he was being just constantly telling the truth, right? Everything, all of our evidence was saying how much he loves how he looks. Did anything in our text tell us that he was Oscar the Grouch and was just mean mugging all over the place and putting people down? No. Did anything in our text tell us that he was lying, that he was dishonest? No, that was never a question either. Yep. So looking at this, if you didn't know what boastful meant, you can always do your process of elimination like how we just did. So we know that nothing was telling in our text supported the fact that he was honest. Nothing in our text supported the fact that he was grouchy. Nothing in the text supported the fact that he was lying and being dishonest. So again, if you didn't know what boastful meant, look at the story, look at your evidence, and then you can cross off the answers you know just cannot be true. All right. Let's take 45 seconds or so to finish answering this on Nearpod. Then we're going to do a quick brain and bathroom break. Then we'll go into the second text. So take 45 seconds to finish writing. All right, I'm going to clear my screen. And let's pull up on pedal. All right, this one we're going to do together. Some of the questions I'm going to have you do on your own as well, but let's look at main idea. So remember, when we're looking at main idea, we want to discuss what the entire text is about. We can do this also by looking at the title. That's going to be a really big hint. So let's make sure we are on. Good, we are on that text. Let me pull up the story so we can all see it. All right, yellow pencils. Let's look at this and follow along as I read. Do you have a number 2 pencil on your desk right now? What color is it? Chances are good that it is yellow. Even if the one on your desk isn't yellow, you probably know where you can find one nearby, perhaps in your desk or in a pencil container. Have you ever wondered why most pencils are yellow? Some people assume it is yellow because yellow is a bright color, making it easy for students to spot when they are searching through a messy desk for a pencil. Some people assume that it is yellow because it is an object associated with school. After all, school buses and pencils are about the same shade of yellow. Nope, those are not the reasons. Pencils were painted yellow in the 1800s, long before school buses were around. The reason pencils are yellow starts with the graphite. Graphite is a thin gray tube in the middle of the pencil. It is the part of the pencil that leaves a mark on the paper. The graphite in a pencil is surrounded by wood. In the 1800s, the best graphite in the world was found in China. Graphite from anywhere else wasn't as durable. Pencil makers wanted everyone to know that their pencils were made with the world's best graphite. In China, the yellow color meant royalty and respect. Yellow is on China's flag for this reason. Pencil makers wanted people to think of China as soon as they saw the pencil. Therefore, they covered their pencils with yellow paint. They knew that the pencil at that time they knew that people at that time would see the yellow, think of China, and know that their pencils were better than the rest. Next time you pick up a yellow pencil and begin to write, stop to admire the yellow color and think of its royal history. All right, main idea, looking at the text. What was the whole reason this text was written? Okay, yeah, so it's all about the color yellow. Okay, so let's look at look at our answer choices, especially because if we're looking at the title where it says yellow pencils, we know that it has to include something about the pencils being yellow. So based on answer choice A, pencils were created in China. Now they are used all over the world. Was this telling me that pencils were chosen or were made in China and created in China? No, I see Elijah shaking his head. Right. Nothing. Yep, a big old X. Nothing in our text tells us that they were created in China. Did this text tell us that pencils were first painted yellow so people would think of China and know how good the pencils were? Okay, I see a thumbs up from Elijah. See a thumbs up from Emmeline. Very good. Armani says yes. All right, so we know that this is a possible answer. C says every student should have a yellow number 2 pencil. Was the whole text written to tell us about every student needs a number 2 pencil? I see Emmeline shaking her head no, giving me a thumbs down. Same with Armani. Yeah, way down. Good. So our answer would have to be B. The whole reason the story was written was to tell us why pencils are yellow. Very good. This should really only take you 30 seconds. Thank you, Ivan. Or should I say, it's a holiday? Whoops. 24. 19. 11. 8. 4. 3. 2. 1. Blast off to Gigi. Okay, this one you're going to do on your own. So why is yellow one of the colors on the Chinese flag? I want you to ignore this right here where it says cause and effect. Ignore that. Whoops. Okay, all you're going to answer is why is yellow one of the colors on the Chinese flag? Okay, so remember when back at the beginning of the story, in the beginning of the year, we talked about who, what, where, when, why, how, which, right? That's recall. So all we gotta do is blind answer because we're gonna match the answer choices or match the text to the words in the question. Okay. So I want y'all to take about not even 5 minutes, and I want you to see if you can answer this on your own. Remember, you need to mark up your question. I'm going to type it all again. Box and underline question. Evidence in the text. Blind answer. Process of elimination. Okay. You'll have less than 5 minutes. I'm going to give you about 4 minutes to answer. 3, 2, 1, begin. Okay, you all have about a little less than 2 minutes. So those of you who are not finished. All right, remember you don't need to do your TKI. All you need is your blind answer and evidence in the text. Nevaeh, I need a blind answer. It's a holiday. I need evidence and blind answer. Good, Brandon. I need blind answer. Amari, check. I need blind answer. Good, Emmeline. I need blind answer. Good, Quincy. Blind answer. Waiting on Jalen, Layla, Tristan to get to work. ELA get to work. Michael getting to work. Lydia get to work. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. All righty. let's go over this, but before we do, I want to do a poll. If you said A, hold up one finger. If you said B, hold up two. If you said C, hold up three, and D, four. Good job. Emmeline, can you please unmute yourself and walk us through how you got this answer?
Okay, so I got it by looking in the text, and then it said the next time you pick up a yellow pencil, begin to write, stop to admire its yellow color and its royal history. So that's why I picked D.
Very good. Okay. So if we looked at this, it said to look at your history. She backed up and saw that it says it's on the flag because it represents royalty and respect. So that's why she picked D. Very good. All right, looking at our next question. Okay, again, this one you're also going to do on your own because it's text evidence. What is the part of the pencil that leaves a mark on the paper? Okay, remember that we are going to box and underline keywords in the question, evidence in the text, blind answer, no chart, nothing like that at all. And then process of elimination, all right? You're going to take about 3-ish minutes. Then we'll go over it again, all right? Begin in 3, 2, 1. Begin. All right. Well, thank you, Armani, for telling me not to share my screen. Remember to do your blind answer. A lot of us are not doing that. Michael, check your answer. Blind answer and evidence. Lydia, Brandon, Ivan, it's a holiday. Get to work, please. Amari, get to work. Good, Evelyn, you just need your blind answer. Brian, blind answer, evidence in the text. Good, Quincy. Layla, check your answer. Elijah, check your answer. Nevaeh, ELA, get to work, please. Y'all have 40 seconds to finish before we go over it. There you go. Good, Elijah. Amari, check your answer. You need one answer as well in process of elimination. Your evidence is not correct. You did, but that's okay. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, let's quickly go over this. And then we'll just skip to question 6. All right, if you said A, hold up one finger, B, hold up 2, C, 3, and D, 4. Okay, thank you, Brandon, for following directions. Thank you, Armani. Okay, let's go over this. So this one I can understand why some of us didn't pick A. However, A would have to be the correct answer. It's graphite. Again, all you're doing is looking at the part of the question that says leaves a mark on the paper. So all you're going to do is match leaves a mark on the paper with what's in the story, all right, in the text. So if I'm looking, I see, okay, I see it is the part of the pencil that leaves a mark on the paper. I'm automatically going to underline that right there. I'm going to look before or above this part that I underlined and below or after. So the reasons our pencils are yellow starts with a graphite. Okay, that's not telling me what leaves a mark on the paper. Then I see graphite is the thin gray tube in the middle of the pencil. It, meaning graphite, is the part of the pencil that leaves a mark on the paper. So my blind answer would have to be graphite. And I can automatically circle A because I know wood doesn't leave a mark. We're not talking about lead. We're not talking about paint. So all those I can just automatically cross off. All right. So if you did not have that, please go ahead, fix your answer, take 30 seconds to do so. We're going to go to question 6. Then we will go ahead and do some Kahoots to end the day. So starting now, 30 seconds if you didn't begin. 30. All right. Let's go to question 6. Context clues. What do we need to do when we have context clues? Very good job, TKI. All right, let's see if you can do this one on your own. Take 5 minutes, and then we'll go over it in 3, 2, 1, begin. All right, let's start to look at this. If you said A, hold up one finger. You said B, 2, C, 3, and D, 4. Okay, good. Why would it have to be that it was D as in dog? Why would that have to be the best answer? Okay, yes, because if we're looking at the text, it says that it wasn't, if we look where it says, it wasn't durable. Pencil makers wanted everyone to know that their pencils were made with the world's best graphite. If it's made with the best, then it would have to be the strongest, right? All right, we are going to pause here for today. We're going to do a quick Kahoot. Well, those of you who are working and participating are going to be doing the Kahoot. The rest of you are going to be working with paper and pencil. And awesome job today.